Okay, I wanted to give a video update on the status of my health and my hospital stay and how things are going. And it's probably going to be kind of long because it's a lot. But I'll just start out with the beginning and bear with me. I'm not feeling well, so I may ramble. I've made notes. I'm not the strongest speaker right now, but here's my update. Um, I was trying to get transferred to Vanderbilt, and I was trying to get an extension of the antibiotics because of my immunosuppression and my other problems. I needed a longer course, and those things have been denied. The doctor continued to retaliate against me in various ways, which actually just now uh, it seems there's been a turnaround, and he did approve a medication that I didn't ask for, but that I really appreciate. So perhaps the prayers that I have been praying, and hopefully others have been praying for him, are working in his heart. And I am very grateful that even though this is the last t- time I deal with him, that it's ending on such a good note. But I appealed to not be discharged so that I would buy time to get transferred to Vanderbilt. Um, right now, I would have been transferred except for the fact that they are at critical capacity and they're not taking anybody at all. If it wasn't for that, I would have been transferred. So I was hoping to buy a few days so that critical capacity would be over and I would be on the top of the priority list to be transferred to Vanderbilt, where all my specialists are. But it's the end of the line. I lost my appeal with Medicaid this time, or Medicare this time, and I will be discharged tomorrow at noon or by noon. I have been taken off the antibiotics prematurely, and it turns out I finally got the sensitivity report for the serious bacteria that I have, and it's very resistant. There are only 2 antibiotics left that might help me. One of them is very toxic. The other one, I believe this hospital probably didn't have, and that could be why they were hiding the sensitivity report from me and didn't want me to know about this. But I finally got the sensitivity report, and the antibiotic that I've been on is most likely the wrong antibiotic. It only, it probably only helped a little bit, and quite possibly could have made things worse because it uh, is not good for seizures, and it's the same antibiotic that has been tried. This is the third time now. And when you take short courses of antibiotics like this and do it repeatedly, it builds resistance. So, but it's overall not good news at all. Um, I had at least 3 seizures today that I know of. 2 of them I caught on camera. One of them I had fallen asleep for a short nap, and when I woke up, my glasses were ripped off my face, the chain was broken, so it's pretty safe to say that I had a seizure in my sleep at that time as well. And the last seizure I had, uh, I woke up in quite a bit of pain. I hurt my shoulder, pulled the stitches in my surgery wound, and I'm still in quite a bit of pain right now from the pulled stitches. Thankfully, it didn't bleed, but it hurts pretty bad. And the doctor, of course, took away the pain medication. The nurse appealed to him to have mercy and let me have at least one more dose because of the seizure. And he gave me a half a dose of the smallest amount. So, needless to say, it's not doing anything for me right now. Because of the way things are going, I'm in real danger of sepsis and status epilepticus. Both of those things are often fatal, but I'm not afraid. I do still have options. The plan is that I'm going home, and when I get home, if things do get worse or seizures continue to the point where it might look like status epilepticus, that we will call an ambulance and I will request to be taken to Vanderbilt. And because of my serious health conditions, my request will probably be granted. I don't look forward to going to Vanderbilt's ER. It's not a good place to be, in my experience. And with them being at critical capacity, there's a very real chance that they will just stabilize me and send me home. So I've been through that already several times in the past couple of months with this hospital. So that is always very taxing for me because I rely on TennCare transportation, and it can take them 8 hours or longer to pick me up once I've been discharged. And when I've been discharged, there's no pain medicine, there's no giving me my regular medications. It's quite harrowing. So, as bad as that sounds, I wanted to share that even though it sounds horrible, I truly do have a peace that passes understanding. And I finally have been understanding what that means in the past few years, and the more I suffer, the more I understand it, and the more I feel it. There is a hymn, one of my favorite hymns. It is called "It Is Well With My Soul," and that is a hymn about the peace that passes understanding. Let me see my notes. It was written by Horatio Gates Spafford. He lost his wealth in the Great Chicago Fire, and 2 years later, he lost his wife and 4 daughters were on a ship in the Atlantic, and it collided with another ship and sank, and the only person who survived was his wife. And he was traveling to meet her, and the ship's captain told him that he was actually passing over the exact spot where his daughters had died. And when he learned this, he wrote the song. And it starts out with, "When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well with my soul. Now, most people would probably hear that and wonder how in the world could this man feel peace in his heart in such a terrible moment like that after losing so much. And I, too, would wonder that. I no longer wonder that anymore. The more and more I am persecuted, the closer to God I get. And it wasn't always like that. There were many years that I used to beat myself up wondering, why me? What did I do? It isn't fair because my children suffer too. I used to wonder, am I being punished for some sins that I committed or not fulfilling what God wanted for me to do? And I even started to think that maybe God isn't so good after all. And I can't explain how, but God finally had mercy and healed my soul. I actually thought at the time he healed my body because I did experience a period of bodily healing, but it didn't last. And I eventually came to see that the healing, the true healing that took place was in my soul, which is way more valuable than body healing anyway. And I didn't do anything to bring this about. I don't know why it took so long. I don't know why, what changed. I can't explain it, but I guess it was just time according to God's plan. And let's see my notes. I wanted to share some scriptures that talk about rejoicing in suffering. We've heard stories about the martyrs who would rejoice and praise God and thank Him for, as they were being marched to be burned or beheaded or tortured. And those stories were so hard to understand until recently, until the past few years. I have found that the suffering not only brings me closer to God, but it also makes me uniquely equipped to minister to and to be used by God to help other people who are suffering, deep suffering. Because people who haven't suffered the way we have don't understand. They don't get it. They might suggest that you don't have enough faith, or you haven't repented for something, or you might have a demon, or all sorts of things that they will blame you, much like the friends of Job blamed Job for his suffering. But here's the scriptures that I wanted to share. Romans 5:3-4. More than that, we rejoice in our sufferings, knowing that suffering produces endurance, and endurance produces character, and character produces hope. And that is a gift that I am finding that I have been given continuously, especially the past few years. And 1 Peter 4:12-13. Beloved, do not be surprised at the fiery trial when it comes upon you, but rejoice insofar as it comes upon you, insofar as you share Christ's sufferings, that you may also rejoice and be glad when his glory is revealed. And James 1:2-3, count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds, for you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. Now that steadfastness, I'm not perfect in that yet. I certainly am not. A couple of days ago, when the doctor was very aggressive and hostile with me and humiliated me and refused to listen to reason, I had several hours of despair. And I eventually, with the help of some staff here that are also believers, they helped me come out of that, because not only were they kind to me, but I was able to also kind of put aside my own pain in order to minister to them as well. And the Lord just knows exactly how to get to me, because one of the techs was talking to me and he pointed out, just as I felt the change in me go from despair to smiling and laughing, the sun just, it was dreary all day, and the sun just immediately started pouring into the room, and he pointed that out, and my response was, God loves me. And this is the most important one, especially for people who have illnesses, and family members or other people might suggest that it's because they don't have enough faith that they're not healed. This one changed my perspective and helped me see that that kind of thinking is prosperity doctrine. It may not be that if you have enough faith and God that you'll get wealthy, but it's still prosperity doctrine, because it's expecting to be healed for having enough faith. And that is not necessarily how God always works. And it's proven in 2 Corinthians 12:7-9. So to keep me from becoming conceited because of surpassing greatness of the revelations. Actually, I want to read this from the Bible. I wrote it down, but I want to read it from the Bible. Okay. I will not boast, except in regard to my weaknesses. If I did want to boast, I would not be foolish, because I would be speaking the truth. But because of the extraordinary greatness of the revelations, I refrain, so that no one will think more of me than what my words or deeds may warrant. Therefore, to keep me from becoming overly proud, I was given a thorn in my flesh, a messenger from the adversary to pound away at me so that I wouldn't grow conceited. 3 times I begged the Lord to take this from me so that I wouldn't grow conceited. 3 times I begged the Lord to take this thing away from me, but he told me, my grace is enough for you, for my power is brought to perfection in weakness. Therefore, I am very happy to boast about my weaknesses, in order that the Messiah's power will rest upon me. Yes, I am well pleased with weaknesses, insults, hardships, persecutions, and difficulties endured on behalf of the Messiah, for it is when I am weak that I am strong. And that is that just, when I understood the power and exactly what that meant, everything just opened up for me. And I, while I still have hope, of course, of being healed someday, um, I rejoice even though I'm not. Uh, every time my condition progresses, every time I'm persecuted by a doctor or anything like that, um, I may have moments of weakness where I don't rejoice, but eventually God puts that joy in my heart, and I again see it for what it is. It's a gift. And I don't think I'm to the point where I'm like the martyrs, where if I'm going to be tortured, I'm going to be jumping for joy. But I'm getting there. And it's such a gift. It is nothing of my doing whatsoever. God did this for me, and He used my lifetime of suffering to get me to this point. And it is totally, totally worth it. I hope that this message has helped somebody. If it even helped one person, it's been worth it. All the suffering in my life has been worth it if it helps one person. So Father, please help everyone who has listened to this video. Bless them and keep them and shine your face upon them and give them peace. God bless you all. And next time I have a video, I will probably not be in the hospital.